tonight.
Well, for our next guest, if you don't know who he is, I bet you your kids do or someone in your family does. We're talking about musician Mark Hoppus from Blink-182. He has a new show. He's not just a musician now, he's a talk show host of A Different Spin with Mark Hoppus on Fuse. Good morning.
Hi, how you doing?
Very good. Hey, when we announced that you were going to be on the program this morning, people in our own newsroom, then people on our Facebook page had things to say, and they were pretty excited to see it. So I was going to ask you what you've been up to, but the whole point is you're not just a musician. Tell us about A Different Spin.
I'm starting a new music-based talk show with Fuse. It's called A Different Spin, and it's basically all things music. It's in-studio interviews, live performances, panel discussions, pieces from the field, a lot of fun, new bands, big superstar musicians, and I get to hold down the fort.
Mark, I'm going to throw a couple names at you, and I'm sure you've heard of them. Magic Johnson, Dennis Miller. There's a long list of people who had talk shows that didn't work out, but yours seems like a pretty creative idea. What are you doing to make sure we keep coming back to it?
Oh, I hope to join that long list of people who've tried talk shows and had them fail horribly.
No, no way, man. No, I'm just.
No, we're really trying to make it a special show. We really have great people involved with it. All the writers and the producers and everyone at the network is really passionate about music. Everyone has really good taste in music, and there's just a really positive energy there. So hopefully that transfers into the show and people enjoy it.
Yeah, see, don't take it the wrong way. I think the whole point is I like your chances because you've always been such a creative musician. Blink and everything that you guys do has been so creative, from your music videos to your touring. So I think that will be a lot of fun. Can you give us a preview of anything you got coming up here, or in terms of what we may see specifically?
Well, yeah, our first guest that airs tonight is John Mayer, and we have a live performance from Neon Trees. And then next week we have Linkin Park and a performance from the National. We had someone go out and cover the U.S. Air Guitar Championships here in New York, and I think it's a really special show. I think that there's really nothing like it out on TV right now, and I think that people are so hungry for music news and new music and are so interested in the whole music industry that it's really filling a space that isn't out there right now.
Now, we asked for just our viewers what they wanted to hear from you, so I'm going to ask you just a couple quick questions about your music career. Best musician besides yourself, best musician you've ever played with or seen?
I would say Travis, our drummer, is definitely the best musician that I've ever played with. Travis is versed in all different kinds of music. He grew up playing in marching band, and he's one of those guys that has his own signature sound, and you can put him into any style of music: country, hip-hop, rock, anything at all, and he's still going to sound like himself, but he's still going to be perfect for whatever he's playing.
Best city to tour in?
Best city to tour in? Rochester!
Oh, come on, man. Besides Rochester.
Now, you know what's interesting? In all seriousness, touring with a band, every show's different, and sometimes you can have an amazing show in some city in the middle of nowhere, and then you can play a big city and have a terrible show. It's really about the audience that night and about our performance that night. And sometimes you walk in thinking, "Oh, this show's good. We're really going to phone this show in," and it ends up being great.
And last question, is the music industry itself, the industry, the companies, are they as cannibalizing and difficult to work with as we hear in the horror stories about bands making their way? Or is that a myth?
I don't think that it's a myth. I think it really depends on the band itself. You know, Blink-182 has been very blessed to work with a lot of great people at the label, and obviously labels are going through a very hard time right now, but you do hear horror stories all the time about bands that get signed, and then they record their album, and the label changes their mind, and the record doesn't come out. And, you know, it is, at the end of the day, a business for these labels. And I think a lot of bands get caught up in that. But our experience has been very good. We're very blessed.
I'm not going to lie. I grew up with Touchdown Boy and the music, and I appreciate it. And it's great to see what you're doing now. It sounds like it's going to be a great show on Fuse. More information about his new show on our website. Hey, Mark, thanks for spending a few minutes with us this morning.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
That's Mark Hoppus from Blink-182.
He doesn't look a day older.
No, he really doesn't.
No.
It's amazing.
Wow.
Music keeps you young.
I guess so. When you do what you love, right? Most important. All right. Speaking of a man who loves what he does, we're going to talk about sports with Mike Catalana and the high school football.